So I was attracted to work in NELFT because I'd completed all my psychiatry training in NELFT. So for 7.5 years, I've been across Essex and Kent in my core training, my high training, and now as a consultant. And so it was really easy for me to build on the relationships I'd already built up as a more junior doctor, and then to hopefully continue those as a consultant. So specifically, I really like the fact that NELFT, one of their core values is putting people first. I think it is really important, again, not just for the patients, but for all of the people who work in the trust, being able to ensure that what we're doing is making a positive impact on people's lives and they're able to walk away actually feeling like things have been improved.
So I like working for NELFT because NELFT are responsive to staff requests. They are flexible and able to accept flexible working. NELFT are also very supportive during the COVID pandemic and were really supportive of us as an inpatient unit. NELFT also, from a leadership point of view, is very good at communicating. So we have regular meetings with the medical leadership and with the overall leadership of the trust. NELFT are very good at developing services, and since NELFT have taken over, there's been extensive investment both into the buildings and into the staffing.
What I like most about working for NELFT is the development of my personal development. So I would say I've been able to acquire a master's degree in my second job, the second harder work, which is safeguarding. So that was excellent, and with a very good result as well in that. It's that type of support.
There's lots of opportunities to develop your career. There's lots of opportunities for taking on leadership roles, for taking on roles as a medical educator.
But once I joined the team, it has opened up really new opportunities for learning, for development, and for patient care. NELFT also offered me an opportunity to progress in my own career. I was immediately offered a post as an acting up consultant, which has been really fulfilling. NELFT also provides excellent HR support. They provide support for your appraisals and training. They provide support for your IT systems.
Specifically in terms of patient care, I like the fact that there's inclusion of the patient in the decision making. The fact that whilst we have policies and standards that we do need to keep to, that we're also making sure that plans are specific to the patient's situations. We don't want to just force upon them what we think is best. We want to include them in that and make sure that actually they feel like decisions are in their benefit rather than for them.
The types of interventions we can offer can be really tailored to what suits the patient. So, for instance, the non-talking therapies or the less talking therapies such as music and art therapy are especially helpful for patients who find it hard to discuss their internal mental world, and that's really helpful.
We are quite innovative with the way we manage both patients and even the staff.
I think NELFT has always had very clear service models. We offer evidence-based treatment, there's a clear pathway model for CAMS. We're clear about what we can work with, but the Trust is also very clear about what we can't work with. And we have a clear model of offering time-limited treatment, which means we're able to keep up with demand and there's throughput to our work in CAMS. Within Kent, there's also been lots of investment in services, and we have now more specialist services. So we have a dedicated all-age eating disorder service, we have a crisis team, we have an intensive home treatment team, and we have an inpatient unit for young people, all located within Kent. So that also feels like a really positive change. There's also a team for young people with learning disabilities. So as well as having the generic CAMS services, there's been increased investment and development of other specialist services that are locally located.
I also work with fantastic colleagues. My consultant colleagues are just too good.
In terms of staff support, I think it's important that we understand in this kind of environment, there's always going to be some difficult situations, whether it's because of unfortunate incidents or whether it's just difficult times that we as a I guess, as a healthcare profession go through. And I think it's really important to see that NELFT supports staff through those difficult times to ensure that well-being is supported, and that even in difficult times such as cost of living crisis, that staff feel that they have somewhere to turn to and they aren't kind of having to struggle through it alone.
What I like about the way staff are supported is that there is a focus on well-being. We have regular updates from the NELFT well-being team. So in an inpatient environment, sometimes some of the work can be very challenging for staff, especially the staff that are with the patients all the time. And it's very important that there is a space for those staff to think about the impact on them as people and enable staff to leave a lot of the anxieties at work before they go home.
And there's something about community when you work with NELFT. It's like you feel involved, you are listened to.
I think as a doctor, one thing I've really noticed in NELFT is the way their clinical excellence awards are managed is really equitable. All doctors have a voice in that in terms of how that is divided. And when you're someone who does a lot of clinical work, it feels like that's valued and rewarded in a way it may not be in other trusts.
Even though I haven't taken up the opportunity, there is a lot of support to achieve your consultant grade through Article 14. I'm also an appraiser for the trust, so that is a new skill set that I have gathered while I'm here.
So living and working in Kent is really useful for me. I have a young family, and so it's really important that I'm able to do my work as best as I can to support my patients, but also be able to balance having to do the school run and the nursery run and just be around. And I feel like NELFT is a great organisation to encourage that flexible working.
The people who do work here tend to stay here for some time.
Work-life balance was one main reason I moved to Kent.
We also have a very cohesive and supportive consultant group within Kent. I think what's unique about Kent is that there's a huge amount of development and change going on in terms of medical education within Kent. So there's a newly opened medical school. We're really involved in teaching medical students, and we also now have we have core trainees, but we also have a higher training programme for CAMs across Kent, so in Sussex, and we're due to have expansion in training numbers. So lots of opportunities for teaching and development in Kent at the moment.
Kent is a great place to live. It's easy to get to London, but also easy to go on holiday to the continent. It's got very good transport links. It's also a great place to bring up children. There's good schooling. There's lots of activities to do around Kent, and quite varied as well.
I live in Kent and I love the environment. There are fantastic schools. All my children have nearly grown up now. You just need to take a drive through the country lane when you are stressed, and you will know that it's a peaceful environment. And as you will see when you're driving down, it says it's the Garden of England. So you will always love the environment, and I think I love it. I've lived in Kent now for almost 20 years.
So I'm slightly unusual in that I live in London but work in Kent. I find that quite helpful. I have a very easy hour-long drive in my car against the traffic. It allows me to have a bit of a distance and separation between my work and my home life, which I personally find quite helpful.
Kent is very, very close to London to commute, so it is very easy to reach London Bridge within 25 minutes from Dartford. So from commuting point of view, Kent is very well connected. From education point of view, you couldn't ask for anything more. And from leisure point of view, you got everything. You got theatres to the parks, or educational centres for children. A lot is available in Kent, so it's the best place to live. I live in Kent.